I've never been able to plan my life. I just lurch from indecision to indecision. If only life could be a little more tender and art a little more robust. The more we're governed by idiots and have no control over our destinies, the more we need to tell stories to each other about who we are, why we are, where we come from, and what might be possible. Or what's impossible, what's a fantasy. I do take my work seriously, and the way to do that is not to take yourself too seriously. And it's a human need to be told stories. The more we're governed by idiots and have no control over our destinies, the more we need to tell stories to each other about who we are, why we are, where we come from, and what might be possible. I love perfumes. Every morning when my girlfriend and I come down to the courtyard in our block of flats, we're assailed by the most delicious scent jasmine in round a doorway. It almost makes me swoon. I am the character you are not supposed to like. There's a voice inside you that tells you what you should do. I think there's some connection between absolute discipline and absolute freedom. Actors are agents of change. A film, a piece of theater, a piece of music, or a book can make a difference. It can change the world. It would be wonderful to think that the future is unknown and sort of surprising. Nothing gives me as much pleasure as traveling. I love getting on trains and boats and planes. Maverick is a word which appeals to me more than misfit. Maverick is active, misfit is passive. I always feel that when I come to Edinburgh, in many ways I am coming home. I have a love-hate relationship with white silk. I think there should be laughs in everything. Sometimes it's a slam door, a pie in the face, or just our recognition of our frailties. Acting touches nerves you have absolutely no control over. Each character I play has different dimensions. I'm not interested in words that pull them together. I suppose with any good writing and interesting characters, you can have that awfully overused word, a journey. All I want to see from an actor is the intensity and accuracy of their listening. I never talk about Harry Potter because I think that would rob children of something that's private to them. I think too many things get explained, so I hate talking about it. I want to swim in both directions at once. Desire success, court failure. My idea of a real treat is Magic Mountain without standing in line. I'm still living the life where you get home and open the fridge and there's half a pot of yogurt and a half a can of flat Coca-Cola. When I get off the plane in England, I always feel about 2 inches shorter. If people want to know who I am, it is all in the work. I get stage fright and gremlins in my head saying, "You're going to forget your lines." I can only see my limitations. That's just who I am. On film, you put all your energies into a single glance. If I knew with Snape I was working as a double agent, as it turns out, and a very good one at that. What is it about actors? God knows I get bored with actors talking about themselves. The directors you trust the most are the ones, when you ask them a question, they've got the guts to say, "I don't know." It is an ancient need to be told stories, but the story needs a great storyteller. Thanks for all of it, Joe. I like it when stories are left open. You know, London is so sprawling, and you can sometimes forget that anybody else is on a stage anywhere else. Older people say, "Oh, I loved you in Sense and Sensibility," and that's the only film they want to talk about. Equally, there are people who only want to talk about Galaxy Quest, and there's a whole bunch of teenagers who only want to talk about Dogma. I don't think it's right that everybody knows everything about me. I mean, language fascinates me anyway, and different words have different energies, and you can change the whole drive of a sentence. 3 children have become adults since a phone call with Joe Rowling, containing one small clue, persuaded me that there was more to Snape than an unchanging costume. And that even though only 3 of the books were out at that time, she held the entire massive but delicate narrative in the surest of hands. I have every sympathy for writers. It's a mystery to me what they do. I can edit. I can cross out and say, "I'm not saying that," or "How about we move this to here?" Wouldn't that make that bit of the story better? But where any of it comes from is beyond me. I will never write a play or a novel.